near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning, with beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning, with beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning, with beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning, with beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning, with beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to home
Member Little? Mayor Bonta?
Here.
Member Fleming?
Here.
Member Lusko? Here. Member Simpson? Member Burhans? Member Jackson? Attorney Dogan?
Special meeting, April 17th. The old business is the request for an inflatable rescue boat by the Portage Fire Department. So at this time, I see representation from the fire department. I assume somebody's going to come up and speak on behalf of.
There appear to be 4 people dressed as such as if they might be firefighters, but I'm not sure maybe which one is coming up to speak. I have, of course, just joking a bit, sorry.
All right, obviously, this special meeting is carried over from our meeting prior, and it's in regards to your request for a fire boat in a spec that you have given us. So you've given us 2 quote options, and we, I know, reviewed or discussed the quotes last time, and we discussed the purpose that you have for this, and maybe update us on anything new since last week, and we can take this issue to hand.
Okay. Well, I did some more research just to kind of help you. Some of the questions that were communicated to us, one of them was, did we think or have we looked at trying to buy a used one? And so there's a few issues with that. Number one, with inflatable boats, it's pretty difficult to find used rescue-rated inflatable boats. If you do, usually they're older. You have no idea what kind of shape they're in. And then other things that go along with that, how they were used or abused. And then obviously, they're not going to carry a warranty like a brand new one would. So with inflatable boats, obviously the fabric is the most important thing. So that plays into it. The older they are, if you don't know the history behind them, the fabric could be degraded and, we could be repairing it or it could be out of service, sooner than later. So that's kind of a big risk that we would take if we went that used inflatable boat route.
And with that as well, I mean, I think you guys all know the fire department uses the stuff until its last stitch is holding on. So I did look in the used market and there was nothing, no types like this that were larger with the center console and stuff like that, but nothing in this range.
Kind of thinking out loud, I would imagine that if somebody is selling their used boat in this circumstance, it's probably because they've used it to a point where they're not feeling that they need it, either that or they lost their water source. But
Right.
I would say that I appreciate you guys very much looking into that, but I mean also knowing how much our fire department and others use what they can for as long as they can. That I think that explanation makes a great deal of sense.
Yeah, to give you an idea, Marine One, the boat that we have now, is approximately 13 years old, and we're refurbishing that with that port security grant. So I don't think it would have lasted too much longer if we didn't do the refurbishment. And that's a boat that holds up obviously a lot more than these boats do, so.
And I do agree with everything you said about used, so.
Yeah.
Mr. President, because you asked me to attend this evening, I assume you want a legal opinion, and so I did a little bit of research, and the Port Authority Board has authority over matters affecting the confines of the marina and its environs, and safety would certainly seem to be one of those issues, and so I think it is completely within your purview to approve this purchase if you wish to.
And another number that I kind of did some research on were our response numbers from 2020 until 2024. And so we had 141 responses on the water. 95 of those were swimmer-related. 46 or 31% were boater-related. So whether it was in the marina, in the waterway, or at Portage Beach, that's where those numbers come from.
Is your big boat still under repair and on track as stated last week?
It is still under repair. The latest update I just got, they actually have all the equipment to put on there. There was a couple damaged spots on the hull that have to be specially welded, and that is supposed to be being done next week. And some of those spots were probably from taking that boat up the channel in places that it maybe wasn't designed for. That's another advantage of getting this inflatable boat. We'll be able to get up the waterway a lot farther. We actually had a call last year over by, what was it, Isaac Walton, back in that area, where people were stuck on kayaks that the Marine One couldn't get back there. It was too large. They actually got back there with the Wave Runner, which was kind of difficult as well. So there are some areas now, especially with that trail that goes back in that area, that large boat can't get back to.
That was actually a question, you've answered pretty much 99% of it already, if not all of it, but I had wondered about when the Marine One comes back, and that's finished, and we have this boat, the continued uses of it. I had wondered if this was handy for lakes as well, or if something like this is a little bit more suited for the open, water. I was also curious if there is enough manpower, would there ever be a future summer where potentially both boats are in use at the same time?
Definitely, and I know you weren't at the last meeting.
And I'm sorry about that.
no.
That's why yeah.
I did mention that, I wanted to make it clear to the board that, this boat won't just be taking the place of Marine One until it gets back. It'll be utilized in a bunch of different ways. And yeah, there will be some incidences where both of them will be used.
And I apologize. Lake is in like our inland lakes, of course, Lake
Yes.
Michigan for sure.
Yeah, and that was the reason why we chose the model that we chose and the size that we chose. It will be trailered, but there'll be some areas where we might have to carry it. And if we had a larger one, that means we have to have more manpower to carry the boat, even if that's 25, 30 feet. This one is capable of 4 guys, carrying it from the trailer to the water. So if it's something that's not accessible by a trailer like you have at the marina, it'll be able to be used for that. But yeah, it can be used, out on Lake Michigan as well as some of the inland lakes around town, and then obviously in the marina and some of the little tributaries that go off of the waterway there.
Can I add something to what you guys are talking about? I did a little research on my own. I was able to find one used boat, it was 24 feet with a motor, $55,000. It was 4 years old, so it makes me question why were they selling it to begin with. But it was a fire rescue boat. Just to inform everybody on the board, there is a difference in the tubes on these boats too. Just to give everybody a little bit of information, PVC, we probably don't want to go that route. Those are cheaper. It's a welded seam, and it's usually good for between 2 and 10 years. If we go with the Hypalon tubes, those are durable, 7, 15, possibly 20 years. They outlast the PVC in the sun. They're far more sturdy. They outlast the PVC in the water, and they're very resistant to UV sun rays. The difference being the seams are fluid. So I would highly recommend that you go with Hypalon. It's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, correct. I actually did some research. I reached out to a battalion chief at South Bend Fire Department. It's Battalion Chief Chris Baker. He's in charge of their water rescue team. He's also an instructor at the Indiana River Rescue School. He's on Task Force 1, Indiana Task Force 1, which is the FEMA response team. So he's worked all across the country in flood, swift water, pretty much everything. And he has said the same thing. He would recommend, if we could afford it, to go with the Hypalon. It better suits our area. That's what they have at South Bend, and then that's what they have down in Indianapolis that they take all across the country. It stands up to the harsher weather like we have, and especially, he said, if we're going to use this not only during the summer months, but into the fall when the weather starts to get colder, that fabric will hold up a lot better than the PVC. And that's the reason why it's more expensive than the PVC material.
And also, if we're putting divers off of this, all the gear rubbing on the tubes, and it's just a lot of wear and tear on the boat itself. To answer some of your questions from last meeting as well, as far as funding and different funding sources, RDC is supplying a large chunk of money for Marine One's repairs. So we have talked to the RDC, and some of that money coming for those repairs are also coming out of our maintenance budget. So the fire department budget is tapped, unfortunately, for those, with the money coming out for the Marine One repairs.
Just to speak in terms of, I think what's pretty obvious support, for this in my case, you can't always pick when you're going to need to do these kinds of repairs, but you also can't always pick when federal funds such as the Port Security Grant are going to be available. And so it's always great if you have the ability to know in advance, but in this circumstance with RDC contributing already, I think that this is a great opportunity for the marina or for the Port Authority to pitch in on that side of it to make sure that boaters and everyone who's using our lake and our river are safe.
And in the past, we have donated to the Portage Fire Department and the dive team. I just went back and checked a couple of donations. 2017, we donated $10,937. 2019, $5,306. So we have always tried to donate. When you guys come before us for a request, we've always tried to honor that as a board. And I thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, further questions for clarity?
Tell us about the engines and gas tank.
So normally the gas tank is roughly about 5 or 6 gallon size. Depending on, there was 2 quotes that you got. One was directly from the manufacturer, Inmar, and then the other one, I have another copy. I only had one copy the last time. It was from All Hands Fire, which is kind of a dealer. Same boats, same manufacturer. One, the quote was coming with a gas tank, the other one was not. We have reached out to Lake Assault Boats, who is doing the refurbishment on Marine One, the large vessel that we have. And they have tentatively agreed to purchase the motor for this boat. So depending on which quote we went with, we would have it covered, whether, you know, we had them purchase it with the fuel tank, or we did the quote that the boat came with a fuel tank.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, further questions for clarity?
If we go along with this, how are we paying for it? Through the marina, the Port Authority, or what?
Barb, I think we have that identified. Was that right?
Yes, we do.
Sometimes you know there's an answer, but you know you don't have it in front of you, but someone else does. So we're just, I know we're waiting, not wondering.
Right now, we can pull the money. There's 2 areas that we can take money from. It's subcategory 44, fund number 2502-900-444.000, which is marina operating, and it's basically improvements that we make other than buildings. There's also another fund that we can pull money out of. It's the same subcategory 44, and it's 2502-900-449.440. That's capital expenses for the marina, and we have money. One of those funds is sitting at 100%, and the other one is at 99.6%. So we can split it and take half out of each. Depends on the total amount, too, which we probably need to clarify which estimate you guys are wanting to go with. Is it estimate number E4409?
It would be the estimate from the All Hands.
That's estimate 43752.
Correct.
Yes.
So it splits about 4,000 some if we were to split it 2 ways. If we were to split it between the 2, it'd be about 4,000 some each. Or no, yeah.
I'm sorry, I
42,
apologize.
I see.
I don't have that estimate from All Hands.
Pass it over to you, or somebody's got it next to you.
I lied, sorry. Thank you, I apologize for my oversight.
Okay, so 2 accounts identified, potentially split between the 2. Any discussions or concerns on that?
Is that all marina, or is it part of that port?
All marina.
Any way we get some out of the port, maybe split it with them?
I have to do a little bit of deep digging on that one.
I would be not cautious about it from the port, just because it's the port, but when I was looking through, I don't think that there was a clear choice there. Whereas I would say that this project or this proposal is directly related to marina safety. I mean, simply put, people coming to the marina, either because they are, renting consistently, or doing a launch, I think that we're going to be in pretty bad trouble, speaking as a business, if people are coming here not feeling like they have a safe way, they don't have something that can rescue them,
I agree, and after looking at what's available in the Port Authority, we've got approximately $20,000 in that fund. One channel blockage can take a lot of that money out. So we kind of like to watch that, keep that money where it's at in case there's a big cleanup that has to happen.
Unless the firefighters are willing to volunteer to take logs out of the river with the boat.
We have in the past.
Okay, on the launch fees, we give $5 to the Port Authority? Is that right, Barb?
Oh, that's correct, buddy. The $5 is supposedly, that account was set up for Port Authority, but it was to be used for docks.
Okay, I just wonder if we could keep that till we build our funds back up a little bit. It's up to us, I guess, but.
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
It'll help a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
Could you clarify what you're describing? I'm sorry.
Okay, when people pay to put the boats in the water,
Yeah.
they pay $15. 5 of that goes to Port Authority. Okay? I'm saying, let's keep that $5 into the marina.
Oh, I see. You're saying to make up for this over time, you're suggesting we don't give that to the Port Authority.
Right.
So really, I would say that that's really a second motion, probably. You want to first see if we want to pay for this from the marina, and then probably entertain that idea after. I don't know enough about that situation. So what he's talking about is, he might like to amend it so that all the money goes to the marina to make up the money that we would be losing here. I don't know enough about the history of that decision, but I think it's probably a separate decision than what's before us.
Yes, that's correct, Mayor. And also, I don't know that we can take that money out of Port Authority and dedicate it towards the marina because it's in separate funds. I think that might have to go for council approval.
It could, and we could certainly ask about that. But if you trust me, I can bring that up. We can do some homework on that before the council to make sure that we figure out either if we can do it on our own or if we need the council approval, because I don't think I'm against the idea by any means. I just don't know the history on it and if that's the best plan. But I'm comfortable with exploring the idea.
When it was decided by the board a couple of years ago to put that $5 in that special fund, I was never really clear on what the purpose of that was.
Well, and to your point,
Calling it for docks, but docks are for marina, docks are not Port Authority.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And not to ask our attorney to go down a rabbit hole right now, it might be
Well-
better for us to just say, let's maybe do some homework
I
after
can
this.
tell you
Yeah.
what I know about the Port Authority Fund, and that was, historically, it was to maintain the river and keep it passable, which is what you're using that money for. And so it troubles me a little bit that we're doing this $5 towards the docks of the marina when the money should be used from the Port Authority because it's derived from sticker fees and things like that, isn't it? And from all of the boaters on all of the river, and it's therefore supposed to benefit all of the boaters on all of the river, keeping the river passable and things like that. And therefore, you theoretically could use Port Authority funds towards this boat, I believe, because this boat will benefit someone on the river who's drowning or having a problem and needs rescue. But on the other hand, you also, I think it's totally within your discretion to do either or, because also, again, the statute says this board can spend money benefiting the marina or its environs, and that's certainly what you're doing.
Yeah. So I think on that, I would be a little more comfortable if we voted on, not the motion yet, but the proposal in front of us. And then if you give me about 2 weeks, I can find out exactly what that would take to explore that idea. We won't waste any time on it, though.
The only reason I asked, because I watched the last meeting because I wasn't here. But you mentioned that you could probably take it out to Inland Lake or something for
Yeah.
rescues.
Yeah, the inflatable boat is pretty versatile. So we would use it, whatever the call may entail. And there has been some incidences, like on Lake Dombey, the lake at the campground, where, having the inflatable boat would have, benefited us.
Okay, thanks.
If it's all right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the payment for the quote for, please correct me if I get it wrong, EST 43752, with the funds divided by the two funds that are identified in our line items that Barb referenced in the Marina Fund. Does that capture enough in a motion to get that across?
Oh, legally, yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have first, second. Further discussion?
I would just say that to your question, I will make sure that we find out, and so we'll get that investigated, and we'll make a good decision on that in the future.
All right, with that, then we'll move for a vote. All in favor of passing the motion as stated, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Place your order, and we'll take care of that cost.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you guys and all you do, and glad to support. That will move to motion to adjourn.
So moved?
We got a first, we need a second.
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned. Everybody have a good night and a happy Easter.